weekly episode of Growth and Grace. Welcome, and happy Thursday morning. This morning we're going to be talking about gratitude. Shocking, I know. I touch on it a lot, but I had this clever little grateful to great thing pop into mind the other day, and I thought, you know what, I actually haven't talked specifically on gratitude for a little while, and it's been a recurring theme lately in my life, so I wanted to share it with you. Also, total side note, I've been recording a couple videos for an event that's coming up, and I realize how much I talk with my hands, and I don't mind in my own videos. But when it's someone else's video and they give you that feedback, it's so funny to me. I kept clapping, and you guys, now you'll see it, and I do it all the time in my videos, that I do that. It's not like a loud clap, but they said, you know, why don't we try having you do it without clapping? And I thought, oh, okay, that's no problem. And then the whole time I'm consciously thinking, don't clap. And so then the whole time my hands were out here for the video. Anyway, funny side note. But, good morning. So, okay, gratitude is, as you guys know, like a huge portion of what helped me overcome depression, and something that's just part of my regular day-to-day. And it's something that I really, really want to help people find in their day-to-day, because it's genuinely a game changer when, like, regardless of what's going on, regardless of if it's business or personal or, you know, a relationship or whatever, gratitude will help. It will only help. It's never going to be a weight or a hindrance, or it's never going to like distract you from the goal or the beauty of the scenario. So that said, let's dive into ways that you can find gratitude when you're in the midst of the yuck, as I like to call it, because we all experience it. It's pretty easy to find gratitude when things are going great and it's smooth sailing. But when things start to hit the fan and you're walking through some stuff and it's like, this all really sucks. I don't like any of this. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to be experiencing this right now. Like, when you're in that, that's when it can be a little bit more difficult to find, or a lot more difficult, if I'm being honest, to find gratitude. So one of the very, 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 very first things I would say is make sure that you're talking about your scenario with a trusted source who can help you find the gratitude. And there's a couple pieces to that, so I want to unpack it a little bit. Be careful first on who you're sharing it with, because what's not going to support you is finding someone who's just going to say, oh my gosh, you're right, that totally sucks. What a horrible situation. That's awful. And then what they do is they're just like celebrating your pain with you. Like, they're just agreeing with it and saying, yeah, that totally sucks. And they don't take it to that next step of like, okay, that does suck, and let's get you through it, and let's problem solve it, and let's, you know, support you as you walk through this you know, experience. So be careful about who you're telling, because we want it to be someone who's going to support you through it and not keep you stuck in it, right? Like, that's a big thing. And then it takes a pause when you're talking to be intentional with the words you choose to speak. And this is a daily practice, so don't think that this is something that you're just going to perfect, or that it's just all of a sudden going to happen. It's a very conscious choice of what words you speak about the situation you're going through. So, you know, you can be walking through a really, really difficult experience, and you can be real about the experience you're walking through. Like, this isn't a pretend, like, fairy tale. Just make up the story that you want to be experiencing and pretend like what you're going through isn't real, because what you're going through is real. So you can acknowledge it. You can be real about it, but don't focus on the parts that are not working. Like, you can talk about them as you share the story, and like, here's what I'm going through and here's what happened, but Don't just sit and sulk and drone on like, and then this happened, and then this, and then can you believe it? I mean, I know. Can you believe that this happened? And just harp on it, because that's not helping anyone. So share the story, and then actually ask the person, like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, I'm really having a hard time finding gratitude for this. I'm really not. It's like, and if I'm being super transparent, I don't want to find gratitude sometimes. Sometimes it, like, you feel like you just want to sulk. But at the end of the day, that's never actually helping you move forward or move through the experience. It's just keeping you stuck. Take it from someone who's lived in that I'm just going to sulk a little bit longer mode for many, many years. It's not worth it. So ask them. Find someone trustworthy. Share your story without focusing on the drudgery and the yuck. Talk about it, and then ask them, like, what are you seeing? What do you like? What is there in this that I can be grateful for? And you guys, sometimes it's a stretch to find something, and sometimes it is, you are like grasping for straws trying to find something, but find it anyway and focus on it. Focus on that. Then when you tell your story, focus on that piece. Like, yeah, I kind of still can't really believe that this whole thing happened, but wow, I'm so grateful that through this whole chaos, and I think I've shared this story before, but I think it's especially relevant in this. When the bombing happened at the Boston Marathon, and one of the victims was lying in his hospital bed, and he ended up meeting his now wife, because she was a nurse in the hospital. And, you know, obviously getting, like, being a victim of a bombing incident, not a great scenario. Like, not a whole lot to be thankful for. His whole lifestyle was changed. Like, he used to be a fit runner. I mean, he was in the Boston Marathon, for crying out loud. And now he's like bedridden in a hospital bed for, you know, during this whole recovery season, and like lost, I can't remember if he lost one or both legs, but he like severely injured, and there for a while, and he meets his now wife, and it would be so easy in that moment to not even know, right? Like, there was a time when he didn't know that that was going to be his wife. It would be so easy to just say, oh, this whole situation sucks. My life is over. Like, I hate this. I don't want to be in this. And I haven't spoken with him personally. I don't know if he went through that or not. I'm picturing myself in scenarios where I had that thought and they were not that severe. And for him to now get to see all of the things that he gets to be grateful for because that situation happened. Because if that hadn't happened, he wouldn't have met his now wife. So it's seeking it out, and sometimes it's not visible right away, but it's choosing. And I shared a scenario last week or the week before of, you know, having a recent disappointment in life, and just some shifts in a couple different relationships actually in my life, and looking at it, and one in particular going, dang, that did not go how I thought it was going to go. Like, that was really a little bit of a roller coaster, and a little bit like, wow, that kind of sucked actually how that all happened. But at the end of the day, lame as it may sound, I got a really good Spotify playlist out of it because this person had shared one of their playlists with me. So cool. Oh, Kashmir just decided to join. Little shocking that early in the morning, coming out of nowhere. So it's choosing to be grateful. So it's finding someone that you can share it with who's trustworthy, right? So they're not going to go spreading your stuff all over the place, but they're also not going to let you stay stuck in there. That's the first part. And then it's sharing your story, but not focusing on all of the heaviness and the ugh and the what's not working about it. It's sharing your story with the intention of finding a solution and finding gratitude. That's the second part. And then the third part is asking that person you shared it with, like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Because I really, like, I don't want to stay stuck here. Even if in the moment it feels good to stay stuck there, because it's just like you just want to kind of root down and like just be angry. But at the end of the day, and in the long run, that's not the healthy option. And we all, like, deep down, we all know that, but I'm saying it out loud as much to myself as to you, to remind us that let's not stay there. We're passing through. We're moving through the experience. And then choosing to focus on the gratitude, choosing to focus on that silver lining anytime you think about the scenario, and it's doing that pattern interrupt. So instead of thinking on the scenario and harping on it and like just really stewing on it, it's thinking of the scenario and then catching yourself and saying, oh, that's right, and reminding yourself of the silver lining and focusing on that. So it's interrupting yourself. And sometimes it helps to have a physical, like, snap your fingers, clap your hands, you know, knock yourself on the head or something, like remind yourself and say, oh, that's right. Oh, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to think about the silver lining, and then think about the silver lining. And sometimes, you know, if you want to continue taking this, you can continue building on this. But sometimes I found it helpful to actually send a message then to whomever I've spoken with about this and say, hey, you know, I'm struggling right now. Can you remind me? Or, hey, I've been thinking about this, but I'm celebrating because I've been doing a good job of refocusing on silver lining. Like, allow yourself to continue reaching out for that support and that encouragement along the way. So that's that for today's video. I'm seeing a couple people commented on there, and Becky, good morning as always. Calpin, hello, good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. And Peter, oh, Peter, hi. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm totally okay. These were just some interesting scenarios that came up over the last couple months that I've been sharing about on my Facebook Lives as inspiration for some of the breakthroughs that I've gotten to have. So, so sweet of you to ask. Yeah, I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well too. So with that, you guys, it's a little bit early, but let's go for it. Early Thursday, and we'll see you next week, every Thursday, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, for another episode of Growth and Grace. Until then, go check out my business page, because I have some fun things coming up, and we start on Monday with if you check out the successfulbabe.com, it's actually just successfulbabe.com, but you check out the Successful Babe bundle over there, then you can join me for that for 30 days. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.